Okay, so I'm going to tell this story just to clarify what I mean and what it looks like, okay? So, pretend like you're God, okay? And essentially you're like the person watching the movie above, okay? So it's like a movie. Pretend like you're in a movie, okay? And there is a Grace Baptist youth group who a 14-year-old girl joins because her mom is dying of cancer, and she has some friends that are like, hey, you want to come to church? And she's like, sure, fine. So she goes, and, she starts to meet people that she likes, and she starts to get friends and things like that. Okay, cool. So she starts to go all the time, and she starts listening to the Bible and all that, and she takes this shit seriously. The message of Christ, meaning she starts to want to change her heart and be better. She starts to self-reflect. She starts to grow. All of this stuff, okay? Up until then, okay. So essentially, let's make this short. The church youth group goes on a trip in the summer to do puppet shows at a camp for kids, right? Beautiful story so far. Beautiful. Okay. This girl is now 16, and she's beautiful. Okay. Her mom died about 2 years prior. So it's just her and her dad and her sister, who's not even like in the house. Although when she does come in the house, she's whatever. Okay. So, whatever. She's very lonely. She's sad. Her mom has passed away. Okay. You're watching this movie. Okay. And this is the character. Okay. So she has to go. They say, bring your bathing suits because there's a pool there. And the 16-year-old is like, okay, I'll just bring my bathing suits, right? She doesn't have any way to like go out and buy a one piece or like a burqa or anything like that. She just goes and hopes that people will be graceful and kind. You know what I mean? Because it was said, oh, bring a one piece or something like that. I don't know if it was said or whatever. She has ADHD really bad, and she can't pay attention, and she's in severe depression because her mom's dead. Okay, remember that. So, and also her dad is very, very frugal and very stingy. And if you ask for anything like tampons, he gives you a hard time. So essentially there were times where I'd be like, I need tampons because I'm bleeding. And he'd be like, didn't I just buy you some? And I was just like, oh, okay. So this girl was like, I'm not going to bother my dad. I'm just going to go. Okay. I do like to swim, so I am going to bring my bathing suit. Okay. So at the trip, it's time to go in the pool, right? This is a fun time for friends to have play and whatever. And she wears her swimsuit. Okay, and goes to just hopefully, first of all, she's pretty shy. You know what I mean? She's like, whatever. She goes and she gets in the water and she's having a great time. And then who comes over but an older man to shame her and judge her about what she's wearing and basically call her a whore. And then demand her to get out of the pool and go put a shirt on. Does that seem very Christianly and godly? So my whole story about, remember when Adam and Eve were in the garden and they were living in bliss and harmony, and then the evil snake came around and was like, you guys are fucking naked. Be ashamed. Right? And then they hid. And then God was like, yo, Adam and Eve, why are you guys hiding? Who told you we're naked? Oh, because we took a bite of the tree of knowledge, right? Which is really the tree of judgment, the tree of hierarchy, the tree of saying that something is good and something is bad, when really it's all just experience to grow from. Now, I am not condoning hurting the other, okay, at all. And I'm also not condoning all the perverse things that have come from shaming our bodies, okay? Because when you shame something, then you feel like you have to hide in the secret shadows to like do stuff, and then the guilt and the shame come in, and blah, blah, blah. It's a whole thing. So now, which one do you think? Do you think that the narrative of the pastor was right, and that was serving God? Placing a crazy, weird judgment onto a child, a little girl who is 16, and you're something like 40, 50. I don't fucking know how old you were, but it was rude, and I forgive you. But that's some fucked up shit. And to claim that it was in the name of Christ is actually extra fucked up. And yeah, I'm saying fuck, because guess what? You can say fuck and have a pure heart, because my heart right now is trying to set the record straight so that you can see yourself and see that you've been following the wrong God, honey. God, Jesus said, love, kindness, all of that. That's not what you showed me that day. You made me ashamed of my whole being. That's against God. Am I shaming you? No. I'm wishing you growth and learning. Because you need to, if you keep doing this, you're literally creating psychological damage for children. And you call yourself a youth group pastor. You're not. You're a servant of Satan who accuses and divides and labels people whore. 16-year-old girls that have lost their mom. That your son was actually in love with, but you shamed him out of that too.